Dr. Ko, did you know that you made each and every person on this bus cry at one point in time with you? My colleagues and I were on a large party bus on our way to a company holiday party in Manhattan. I thought we were having fun. The music was playing, we were drinking and eating. Why was my center manager saying this to me? Very funny. I laughed, but no one else was laughing. No one was even looking at me. Not fun. That was probably one of the most embarrassing and shocking moments of my life. I was a young medical director in a surgical center. I got the position because I was a really smart, skillful doctor who was really good at doing complex procedures in the procedure room. But was I a good leader? Apparently not. Who makes everyone cry? I don't even know what happened to me. I mean, aren't doctors supposed to make you feel better, right? When I started training and I started going into practice, I had no idea how to lead. And I didn't even think to ask. So I gave commands. I saw what they did in school. After all, I'm the expert, and they should listen to me. I knew there were a couple of people I made cry, but I didn't really think much of it. I mean, everything I did was to protect and care for my patients. And I apologized afterwards, and I thought, you know what? They need to toughen up if they want to be in the medical field. When that happened to me on that party bus, I knew I had to change. But how? I didn't even think that leadership and people management was part of my job description. I mean, I'm responsible for the clinical parts of the job. And the administrators are supposed to take care of everything else, like hiring and firing the staff, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, and improving our workflows. I mean, leadership training was outside of my comfort zone, and I didn't even know where to start. Looking back, knowing what I know now, what I really needed was someone to help me just even believe that I could be a good leader, even if I've never done it before. I needed to develop a growth mindset. The Stanford psychologist, Dr. Carol Dweck, she described growth mindset as a belief that everyone has the potential to improve and learn new skills. I mean, if you're a person with a growth mindset, not only are you open to suggestions, but you welcome criticism and you learn from your mistakes. I mean, setbacks and failures, they're just stepping stones to growth. But I was thinking like a person with a fixed mindset, somebody who thinks that intelligence and talents are set in stone, and then I was not going to change much, if at all, with effort. Someone who feared change and quit at the first rejection. Somebody who wasn't even aware of her limiting beliefs that was holding her back and keeping her from dreaming big and pushing outside of her comfort zone. And I know since then that I wasn't alone. Since my initial attempts at improving my leadership skills, I have met hundreds of physicians like me, and I've read and I've heard about hundreds, if not thousands more. And most physicians agree with me that when we leave medical school and training, we aren't prepared to lead. So what's the solution? Many of them don't even know where to go. But there are some physicians who disagree with me, and they have this sense of overconfidence, or pseudo-confidence, I like to say, like I had. But that kind of confidence does not help you with leadership skills and the willingness to improve. Now, don't get me wrong, the medical school system has done a tremendous job in teaching us the science of medicine. But where the educational system has failed us is helping students to really believe in themselves with a growth mindset to have this confidence to know that there are so many possibilities beyond what you think you can do. Our potential is wide. You know, we can be leaders in the field. We can create businesses. We can be innovators. As physicians, we can lead in every sector of healthcare and really help promote the quality, cost, and patient and staff satisfaction. You know, as the healthcare costs go up, we can do so much as physicians because we understand deeply what needs to be kept and what needs to be consolidated and what needs to be cut out. I mean, we're more than our medical degrees on paper. We need to see ourselves as lifelong learners of what's possible for us and our peers by developing this really strong growth mindset. So what's the solution? Well, one of the major solutions is a paradigm shift of our educational system. Instead of focusing on grades for achievement and validation, let's promote growth and creativity. Let's applaud those who think outside the box. Allowing those who dream big will break down the barriers of what they think their educational system is going to do for them, right? I mean, as a physician who didn't get that leadership development and training, I really focused my efforts on creating a leadership program called Lead Physician. It's for practicing physicians to help them develop this growth mindset and then the leadership following that. And I had this one client, Dr. Singer. I'll never forget, she was experiencing burnout. And she said, Dr. Kell, I'm really stuck. I feel like in the hospital, I'm typecasted and I'm overworked for so many years, I'm done. And she was ready to quit. And this is not an uncommon phenomenon. Did you know, according to medical economics, 50% of physicians in the US right now are burnt out. And like so many physicians, she felt like, you know, I don't have any other skills to help me branch out where I am. So in our leadership program, we focused on shifting her mindset, the fixed mindset she had, you know, there's nothing else I can do, to a growth mindset of, you know what, maybe there is something I can do, and I can figure this out. So we outlined on paper all her passions. We spoke about how her work environment could change, and together with this renewed, expanded belief in herself and her abilities, she started taking action. You know, she approached teams in the hospital, and together they worked out a better work contract and a better work environment. This was the first time that Dr. Singer, in her journey, that she ever felt like she wasn't stuck. And not only that, she renewed and rekindled her passion as an equestrian, and for the first time, I think within months, she competed on the national level for the first time. And then she created a telemedicine platform to help the underserved children in her state. I mean, these experiences, these conversations with physicians, and my study of leadership and personal development have really just given me insight and has let me identify 3 basic principles that I'm going to share with you of how to develop a growth mindset. And when somebody does this, there is such a rapid transformation in some of these people that they don't even recognize who they were just months ago, like Dr. Singer. So here it is. Number 1, develop a strong self-awareness and self-image. What does that mean? Well, let me ask you, how can you develop a strong growth mindset if you don't even know how you think? I didn't even know that I was making all of my employees cry. I mean, I thought I was doing an okay job, but deep down inside, I didn't even believe that I could lead. So the first thing I had to do was recognize my self-image, that I could become a good leader. You know, I have potential. Everyone does. And one of the best ways to really rapidly change your self-image is to write on paper all the negative things that you can think about yourself. You know, listen to that negative self-talk and just know that those aren't facts. For instance, you know, you're never going to be a good leader. You were never born to be a leader. And you know what? You're insecure and shy. Forget it. No one's gonna listen to you. No one's gonna support you. So after you've written this down, you go to number 2, which is challenge your beliefs. You're looking at what you have on paper, ask yourself, you know what, are these true? Is this true? Is this a fact? Am I selling myself short? Maybe ask a partner or a friend whom you really trust. And challenge the belief by asking questions. And if you're saying things like, you know what, I can't, stop it and say, maybe I can. What if? What if I can't? What if I could learn? What if somebody could teach me? And then just by asking these questions, you're opening yourself to possibilities. And then when you take that self-image that you've written and write a whole new self-image, the polar opposite, and say, you know what, you are a great leader. You know what, you were born to be a great leader. I see it in you. You can do presentations, you're very secure, people love you, and you know what, they want to support you. And you read this every day, maybe even in front of the mirror, and watch yourself transform. I know some of you are like, that's pretty crazy, I'm not gonna do that, I feel like an imposter. You know what, I was there. I did too. But when I read my script every day, I started to believe it. Every day, week by week, month by month, I felt myself transforming, and you know what, I became more of who I really am. So just imagine, you take that, and you feel like your fears start to dampen. Your pseudo-confidence becomes real confidence. You stand a little taller, and you feel more empowered to take action, become a better leader. And when you have that confidence, it's really important to do number 3, okay? And that is be humble. The 2 words that hurt growth the most are the words, I know. When you say, I know, it just kind of cuts off all the ideas that other people are trying to give you. It really reduces your choices. I used to say, I know, even though I didn't know. And sometimes it was out of fear. But it's amazing how many people really want to support you and help you, succeed and respect you. When you say, you know what, I don't know, do you think you can help me? Opportunities start coming to you when you're humble and open for growth. So let's just imagine if we helped our medical students, even our college and high school students, to learn this growth mindset. Let's give every physician a second chance to learn, no matter where they are in their career, so that they can thrive, become happier, more motivated, and effective contributors to our healthcare system. Let's create a paradigm shift of our educational system so that we can create and foster a growth mindset in every student, regardless of whether or not they go into medicine. And if you're in the job market, and maybe you're feeling a little stuck, you don't have to have that traumatic bust moment like I had. And you could forget about it, and you could just start now, and reach for your potential, and it just starts by having that growth mindset. It's the power of intention and repetition of building and learning those 3 steps that I talked about that will get you there.